Hello and welcome to the U-Parts Group Windshield Wiper Transmission Linkage installation video. The windshield wiper linkage transmits the motion of the proper motor to the wiper arm and blade. Over time, the wiper linkage can become bent and worn. This is especially true if the wipers are used in a region where heavy snow and ice accumulate during the winter. A bent or broken windshield wiper linkage can cause the wipers to move out of sequence or prevent your wipers from working altogether. Obviously, this is a safety issue, so don't let your wiper linkage go unrepaired. This job has been considered a moderate difficulty level of installation by our technicians. The suggested time for this job is about 45 minutes to 60 minutes, as per our technicians. Here is a list of materials and tools needed for this operation. Pliers wrench and/or wrench, flathead screwdriver, clip removal tool, trim tool and/or pry bar, ratchet, extension and sockets of the appropriate size, battery power wrench, wiper arm puller if needed, protective gloves, safety glasses. Today we are going to replace the windshield wiper linkage on a Kia Sorento 2013 using U-Parts Group, part number WLSO13. WLSO13 is the right replacement wiper linkage for all Kia Sorento from 2011 to 2015 with all submodels. Here are some additional information on U-Parts Group. Part number, U-Parts Group. Part number is WLSO13. This application will fit all Kia Sorento from 2011 to 2015. The Kia OEM part number is 98120-1U000. The Hollander part number is 621-54549. The Canadian Tire certified part number is 021-2208. And the Dorman products part number is 602-164. How to change a wiper linkage on a Kia Sorento 2013 using U-Parts Group replacement. Part number WLSO13. To replace the linkage, we would have to open the hood of the vehicle. Before we remove the wiper arms, it's recommended to mark the position of the two wiper arms so we can reinstall them to the same position after replacing the wiper transmission linkage. One is on the driver's side wiper arm, and the other is on the passenger side wiper arm. Next, we will remove the two nut covers of the wiper arm. We can use a pick or a small flat screwdriver. Just to get underneath the nut cover and pry it up, here's the driver's side nut cover, and here's the passenger side nut cover. To remove the wiper arm nut, we will use a 14mm socket. Here is the two 14mm nuts. After that, we remove the wiper arm. To remove the wiper arm, we can use the wiggling motion up and down. This motion will release the wiper arm from the shaft of the wiper linkage. If you are having trouble removing the wiper arms, you can use a wiper arm puller. After removing the two wiper arms, we will set them aside. Before removing the cowl, we will have to remove the 5 push pins that run along the cowl using a clips removal tool, trim tool. We must be extremely careful with the windshield washer hose that runs under the cowl on the passenger side of the cowl. To the cowl, we must grab the cowl, lift it up and slide it out to the front of the vehicle. We have two options here. We can either disconnect the windshield washer hose and remove the cowl completely and set it outside of the vehicle, or we can simply sit the cowl diagonally and still have access to the wiper linkage and work with it. In this case, we are leaving the cowl diagonally on top of the engine. Before removing the wiper linkage, we would have to remove the two 10mm bolts that mounted the wiper linkage to the cowl panel, as well as disconnecting the wiper motor plug. First, disconnect the wiper motor plug. Then, remove the drive side bolt using a 10mm socket. Do the same operation for the passenger side bolt. To remove the wiper linkage assembly for the cowl panel, Slide it from the driver's side to the passenger side of the vehicle. After removing the wiper linkage assembly, we will put it on a workbench. Before working with the broken linkage, it's recommended to compare the broken linkage assembly with the new replacement linkage. We can compare the mounting point of the two wiper linkages, making sure that the two wiper linkages have similar mounting points. We can also measure the distance between the two shafts of the replacement wiper linkage with the broken wiper linkage. If the two distances are equivalent, then we are sure that we have the right replacement wiper linkage. We can then continue the operation. Before removing the wiper motor from the broken wiper linkage, we will mark the position of the crank arm. We will need this starting position when installing the new replacement wiper linkage. Since the nuts that retain the crank arm to the wiper motor shaft is hidden under the link arm, we would have to set the crank arm to a new position so we can have access to the nuts for removal. We will set the crank arm to 90 degrees with a pliers wrench. This operation will clear the access to the nuts. We will use a 12mm socket to remove the nuts that retain the crank arm to the wiper motor shaft. And to remove the crank arm from the wiper motor shaft, we will pry bar to pry the crank arm out. Or we can gently tap the side of the crank arm to release the crank arm from the wiper motor shaft. Next, we will remove the two bolts that retain the wiper motor to the main tube of the wiper linkage. We will use a T30 Torx bit to remove these two bolts. After removing the two bolts, it will release the wiper motor from the wiper linkage. We will set the old broken wiper linkage aside and position the new replacement wiper linkage to the wiper motor. We will then position the two bolts that will retain the wiper motor to the main tube of the wiper linkage. Then, we will secure the two bolts using a T30 Torx bit. Next, we will position the crank arm to the wiper motor shaft. Please note that we must position the crank arm to the same position when we remove the old broken linkage. Then, we will install the nuts on the wiper motor shaft that retain the crank arm, toto, the wiper motor shaft. We will then secure the nuts with a 12mm socket while locking the crank in position. We will reverse the crank arm 90 degrees with a pliers wrench. This operation will set the crank arm to the marking position. After the installation of the replacement wiper linkage with the wiper motor, we will move the wiper linkage assembly back to the vehicle. Before positioning the wiper linkage assembly back to the cowl panel, we will plug the wiper motor connector. Then, we will position the wiper linkage assembly to the mounting points of the cowl panel. We will install the two 10mm bolts on the mounting points and secure them with a 10mm socket. Next, we will do a quick functional test before reinstalling the cowl and the two wiper arms. As we can see, everything is perfectly functional. This has shown that we successfully installed the replacement of the wiper linkage. We can now stop the operation of the wiper linkage and go ahead with reinstalling the cowl and the two wiper arms. To reinstall the cowl, we will move the cowl back to the windshield and make sure that all hooks under the cowl go under the windshield and the two wiper linkage shafts fits into the two holes on the cowl. Also, we must reinstall the two plastic fender trims on the driver's side and passenger side. These trims sit on top of the cowl. After positioning the cowl properly on the cowl panel, we will reinstall the 5 push pins to secure the cowl to the cowl panel. Before reinstalling the two wiper arms, we will remove the two nuts on the wiper linkage shafts using a 14mm socket. Next, we will reinstall the two wiper arms. We need to position the wiper arms to the marked position. Same position when we remove the two wiper arms at the beginning. Then, we will reinstall the two nuts that retain the two wiper arms in place. And we will secure the two nuts with a 14mm socket while locking the position of the wiper arms. Next, we will reinstall the two nuts cover cap on the two wiper arms. Then, we will close the hood and make a final functional test, making sure that everything runs smoothly before completing the installation of the replacement wiper linkage. As we can see, everything is performing perfectly and fully operational. This has completed the installation of the replacement of the wiper linkage on a Kia Sorento 2013 using U-Parts Group part number WLSO13. This has completed our installation video. If you are not yet a U-Parts Group YouTube channel member, please subscribe to receive news, products release, as well as new installations videos. If you find this video helpful, please give it a thumb up. And if you find this video useful, please share it with your colleague, friends, and families. And for more information about U-Parts Group products lines and more installations instructions videos, please visit our website at upartsgroup.com. And thank you for watching.